Is he here? Is he here?
Hostile control
I
point
think that's him right there. It didn't really show me through the wall, so let me just double check really quick. Oh yeah. All right. Cool. I found him. Here we go. It looks like no stoop. Oh, hey, oh, stoop kid never leaves a stoop. All right, here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But today is July the 30th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys for both of your secret vendors, being Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. And if that sounds good, well, sit back, relax, you know the whole spiel. All right, here we go. So before we get to the secret vendors, we have to find the Snitch. Now, the Snitch is in over a dozen different locations throughout the open world. A lot of people have, troubles, finding him. So what I typically do every single week is I say, please, let everyone know in the comments where you typically find the Snitch, where you found the Snitch today, whatever that is, to help each other out. Because remember that these vendors open and close every other day. So if you do not go today, you will miss it until like Friday, Saturday. All right. So for my Snitch location, we are in, we're just outside of the Space Admin. Oops, excuse me. We're just outside of the Space Admin HQ. And my coordinates are 561 by 4430. And once you accept the bounty, remember it is linked to your open world global difficulty setting. And all you have to do is hover over the bounty, go to details, and then you can click abort bounty. And then that way you can save it for later, just like all of these. Now, once you talk to the Snitch and you open up the bounty, you're done here, and then you look at your map for the white shopping cart icons. There should be two of them. Here's one right here. That's Danny Weaver. And, okay, Cassie's way up here. So Cassie Mendoza is in the West End. And we go to Cassie Mendoza first because Cassie Mendoza is the normal secret vendor. She's the one that sells things with just normal credits. Where Danny Weaver, he is the secret textiles vendor. And that's way different. So I'm going to have to show you how to get textiles and all that after. But first, we'll go to Cassie, and we can see what you can pick up with just normal credits. Now, if you haven't already, check out my latest hunter guides. I am redoing a lot of the most recent hunters on the hardest difficulty with a different build every time. I just ran a little too far. And if you like the way those builds look, just let me know in the comments and I'll give you a full build breakdown. But I'm using different builds for every hunter on the hardest difficulty. But all right, so here we go, Cassie Mendoza. Now, if you have never been to this location, there are side missions here to talk to these people. But we are here for Cassie, so timestamp it, do whatever you need to. Cassie Mendoza.
Always a pleasure, Agent.
And starting off at the top, we do have our named items. Now, just a reminder, if you do not see these bottom three named items, it's because you have to unlock them. The only way to unlock them is to do all of the hunters and open up the boxes. So the shield splinterer, that one's locked behind the ivory box in the base of ops. The hunter killer is the Warlords of New York. So you have to open up the off-white box in the Haven settlement. And the huntsman is Battle for Brooklyn. So the only way to get this weapon is you have to open up the ash box in the bridge settlement. But once you do that, you will unlock all three of these, and they will show up from Cassie Mendoza every single week with different attributes. But remember, also, if you have these three unlocked, go to Anaya and buy those blueprints. That way, if you don't want to wait for a certain attribute, you can go and craft them if you want. But starting off at the top, we have the Lud. This is the named AR with perfect streamline, and a lot of people are really loving streamline and perfect streamline. I've been told to make a Lud build quite a few times since it came out, and it seems that a good chunk of players like to just run and gun and not use skills because of this insane increase to weapon damage. And I agree. I mean, the 47% is pretty hefty, hefty, hefty. Um, but I don't know. I really do like to run and gun and use like a jammer or EMP or whatever. But once I get over that, the increase of weapon damage is pretty intoxicating. I mean, I'm loving it. Every time I see those enemies melt, it's like, okay, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so I might use this one. All right, we'll try it out. So the LUD, what I would do is change the crit chance to damage to targets out of cover, and you'd be good to go. It does have a fairly low RPM, but currently I have a striker build on, so it bumps it up to that 748, which isn't bad, but it could get a little bit better. I'll try it out. Next up, we have the Fox's Prayer. These are best in slot knee pads, and they are must buys. So, yesterday I talked about how these knee pads are in the countdown vendor, but like most people, I don't typically run countdown unless I'm like farming for gear or something like that or testing out a new build. So, I don't really have a lot of extra countdown, tokens or what have you to spend on those knee pads. So, you can come over here to Cassie Mendoza and just use normal E credits and you're good to go. But what I would do is pick these up, change the weapon damage to an armor core, or max out the weapon damage. If you do not have these knee pads at all, I would buy 2 pairs. That way you have one that you could change to an armor core, but then the other one, keep weapon damage, and then you could change the crit damage to anything you want whenever you want. So, say you want to do like a headshot build, you could then later change it to headshot, what have you. But I would definitely have one crit damage with armor, and then have another one to where you could change to whatever it is you want. Now, these hunter items, starting with the shield splinterer, this is the named F2000 with perfect optimist, and this one also crit chance. I would again change it to damage to targets out of cover, and you're good to go. Following that, we have the Hunter Killer. This is the named Golden Gear chest with perfect intimidate. And this week it comes with headshot and repair skills. I really do like headshot on the perfect intimidate. Try that out and then change the repair skills to either crit chance or armor regeneration. Because remember, the Golden Gear 2-piece gives you 1.5% armor regen. And finally, for the named items, we have the Huntsman. Now, this is the named FAMAS with perfect frenzy. And this one with accuracy, again, change the bottom attribute to damage to targets out of cover. Going down to the gear set items, we have the Refactor backpack, this one with weapon handling. Following that, we have True Patriot chest piece with repair skills, but the armor is high enough to where you could pick this one up and change the bottom attribute to whatever it is you want. We have Rigor gloves with skill haste. Virtuoso knee pads with crit chance. Those aren't bad. Heartbreaker holster with max status. Interesting. Use that. Yeah. Use that with the iron lung. Oh my god. And finally, for the gear set items, Aegis mask with explosive resistance. Okay. And finally, we have our high-end items. M249, stability ignited. A D50 with max pistol damage, swap speed and killer. Eminence armaments chest piece with explosive resistance, skill damage, and braced. And finally, Badger Tough mask with health and crit damage. Going to the mods, we have crit damage, again, 10.5, and turret duration, 6.4. Now, must-buys, things to look for from Cassie Mendoza, the LUDs here, Fox's Prayer. The Hunter Killer wouldn't be bad with that headshot. The Shield Splinterer has better... actually, the Huntsman has better rolls than the Shield Splinterer. Going down to the gear set items, the Virtuoso wasn't bad. The Heartbreaker was interesting. And then for the high-end items, the Badger Tough mask, you can actually make double crit. And that could be pretty nasty with a tanky shotgun build. But all right, that is it for Cassie Mendoza. Now let's jump over to Danny Weaver. And Danny Weaver was back over here. There he is. Right outside of the theater. So we'll fast travel over there. If you haven't yet, hit the thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. I do daily Division content. So ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division upload.
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
And here we go. It's just across the street. Let's see if the invisible wall is still there. It's pretty funny seeing these bugs that are still in the game. And it's been years and years and years. But nice little reminders. So if we go through this side entrance and then just run across the street, I have it highlighted, that way we see his location. Oh, this is not the entrance to the invisible wall. I'll show you that in another episode. I believe that's the one, so if it's not here, that would be the one that's over here. That's right. Totally jacked that one up. My bad. All right, Danny Weaver, he is your textiles vendor. And before we do that, let me just show you how to get textiles. Go to your caches, bottom left in your apparel menu, and then you'll have these standard apparel caches. Now, if you get a duplicate item, you will get textiles. So you can see under my apparel cache key, it says all event items are collected, and that means every time I open this up, I get a duplicate. So I open this sucker up. Looks like I'm getting like a scarf. Yep. Well, yep. And it says duplicate item textiles were rewarded instead. 60 textiles. And that's how you get those. And that is actually the only. It says I just got an exotic cache added to my mailbox. What? What was that? All right. Hey, timestamp it. Do whatever you need to. Here's Danny Weaver.
Let me know what you need.
He has, ooh, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 caches. We have 1 exotic, 1 named item, and 1 seasonal cache, followed by 2 optimization materials and 2 crafting material caches. Okay. Now, when you pick these up, make sure it actually takes away from your textiles, because this vendor is known to be bugged. And also, whenever you leave this vendor, make sure it shows up in the bottom left of your screen, so you can see right there. And then it is like a little delayed. There it goes. All right. Now, once you see all of those caches show up in the bottom left, you should be good to go. Now, let me know whatever exotic you get out of the cache. Here is what I get. The Sacrum Imperium. Okay. Okay. Not too shabby. Where's that named item cache? Right here. Big money, big money. The Born Great. Womp womp. All right. Let me know what you get in the comment section below. I am Kamikazevondoom. That was your weekly vendor reset and must-buys for both of your secret vendors, being Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you pick up, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.